Imagine someone says something that cuts you deep. A friend you trusted, a partner you loved, or a stranger who didn't even know you. The pain lingers, doesn't it? It echoes in your mind, stealing your peace. You replay their words or actions over and over, wondering why they did it, what you did wrong, and how to make the pain stop. Imagine carrying that pain like a heavy stone in your heart, pretending to smile, pretending to be okay. But deep down, you feel broken. You wonder if healing is even possible. Is there a way to stay calm when others are cruel? Can you protect your peace without becoming cold or distant? Now imagine this. What if, instead of reacting with anger or sadness, you simply knew what to do? Not from a place of weakness, but from a deep strength rooted in ancient wisdom? What if you could take the hurt and not only survive it, but rise above it? Have you ever wondered why people hurt us in the first place? Is it truly about us? Or is it something deeper within them? And more importantly, how can we respond in a way that brings us peace, not more pain? Let's look at a simple example. Someone insults you in public. Your first instinct might be to lash back or feel crushed. But what if you took a deep breath, paused, and let it pass through you without owning it? This is not about being passive, it's about being wise. Welcome to Wisdom Writings. If you've ever been hurt by someone's words, actions, or silence, this series is for you. Stay with us, and you'll discover Buddhist ways to rise above pain, to keep your heart strong and peaceful. Like, comment your thoughts, share this with someone who needs healing, and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing wisdom. If you're ready to stay positive through the pain, comment Namo Buddhai below. Let it be your first step toward peace. In Buddhism, the first step to healing is not to change the world, it's to understand it. The Buddha taught that suffering is part of life, but how we respond to suffering is where our power lies. When someone hurts you, it's easy to become bitter. But Buddhism teaches us not to feed that bitterness. Instead of asking, why me? Try asking, what can I learn? When we respond with understanding, the pain starts to lose its grip. It doesn't vanish, but it transforms. Like a storm that passes, we become calmer inside. This is not easy, but it is possible. You'll learn that the ones who hurt you are often hurting inside themselves. Their actions are their karma, not yours. Your response, your inner peace, that's your path. And that path begins now. Stay with us, part by part, as we walk together through ancient truths that still hold the answers today. When someone hurts you, it is natural to ask why. Why would they do this? Why would they cause pain? This question is very old as suffering itself. In the silence of your heart, you wonder if the hurt was meant to break you, or if it happened by accident. The truth is simple. People hurt others not because they want to make enemies, but because they themselves are lost in pain. Like a blind man who stumbles, they reach out and grasp in the darkness. Sometimes what they grab harms others, even though their true intention is to find relief from their own suffering. In the quiet of the mind, this may sound strange. You think, but I didn't do anything wrong. Why should I suffer? And this is an important question. It reminds us to seek truth, not to accept harm quietly. But the deeper truth lies in understanding the nature of suffering itself. Suffering is not only a part of life, it is life in many ways. The Buddha called it dukkha, which means unsatisfactoriness. It is the feeling that something is missing or that life does not go as we wish. When someone is trapped in dukkha, they may lash out, hurt, or seek to control others. Think of a small child who cries because they do not know how to express their feelings. The child's tears are not meant to hurt you, but to call for help. Adults, too, carry invisible wounds that make their actions confusing and painful. This is the root of harm. When people act from a place of fear, anger, or loneliness, they may unintentionally cause damage. It is not a perfect excuse. It is a way to see the problem more clearly. When you see the root, you stop feeding the fire with your own pain. You may ask, how do I find this root? How do I look beyond the surface of the hurt? The answer lies in quiet observation. When your heart is calm, ask yourself, what is this person afraid of? What pain are they carrying that makes them hurt me? You may never know the full answer, but the practice is in the asking. The Buddha said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love." This is the eternal rule. Love here means understanding, not weakness. It means seeing clearly that hurt comes from hurt. There is no need to justify bad actions or allow harm to continue. Instead, look beneath the action to the suffering that drives it. This understanding does not excuse harm. It frees you from the trap of endless anger and revenge. Imagine holding a hot coal in your hand, thinking it will harm the one who threw it. Instead, the fire burns your own palm. When we hold on to anger toward those who hurt us, we only burn ourselves. Understanding the root of their pain helps us to drop the coal and heal. In your own heart, you may feel anger, sadness, or confusion. These feelings are natural. Buddhism does not ask you to deny your emotions or pretend to be strong. Instead, it invites you to look deeply into these emotions to see their source. When you meet anger with anger, the cycle continues. But when you meet anger with understanding, the cycle breaks. This does not mean you become a target for pain. It means you become the master of your own peace. Sometimes, people hurt others because they want control. Fear makes them grasp tightly at what they think belongs to them. Respect, power, love. But control is an illusion. The more tightly we hold, the more we suffer. When you realize this, you begin to loosen your grip on your own suffering. You do not need to control the person who hurt you or the pain they caused. You only need to control your response. It is said that everyone carries a shadow inside, a part of themselves that is wounded, afraid, or angry. When this shadow is ignored or denied, it grows. Sometimes it bursts out and harms those around us. Seeing this shadow with kindness is the first step toward healing. This kindness is not weakness, but strength. It is the strength to face reality without fear. You may wonder, does this mean I should accept hurt quietly? No. Buddhism teaches balance. It is wise to protect yourself, to set boundaries, and to seek peace. But it is also wise to understand that the one who harms is also suffering, often in ways invisible to the eye. When you see this, your heart becomes spacious. It can hold pain and peace together. This spaciousness is freedom. Sometimes, the root of harm lies in ignorance, not knowing the impact of one's actions. People may speak harshly without realizing the weight of their words. They may act out of habit or confusion. When you realize this, you become less attached to blame and more open to healing. Healing begins when blame softens. This does not mean forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't matter. It means seeing the whole picture, the pain behind the pain. In this seeing, you find strength, not the strength of anger or revenge, but the quiet power of understanding. This power is like water that flows around rocks. It does not fight the stone, but shapes it gently over time. When you respond from this place, your actions are rooted in peace, not fear. You're no longer controlled by the pain caused by others. This does not mean the hurt disappears immediately. Healing is a journey, not a quick fix. But each step forward brings more calm and clarity. You may still feel hurt, but now you carry it differently. It is not a chain binding you, but a teacher guiding you. The Buddha taught that life is like a river. Sometimes the water is clear and gentle. Sometimes it is rough and stormy. We cannot control the river, but we can learn to navigate it. When someone hurts you, think of the river. The pain is the storm, not the river itself. When a storm passes, the water flows again, calm and steady. In time, the river teaches you how to move with grace. It teaches you to bend, to accept change, and to find peace amid chaos. This is the root wisdom of understanding why people hurt others. It is not to justify pain, but to free yourself from its endless hold. When you understand the root, you begin to walk a new path, a path of peace, clarity, and compassion. And in this path, you find freedom. Freedom from anger, freedom from fear, freedom from suffering. This freedom is not given by others. It is found within you, in the quiet strength of understanding the true nature of harm. Walk this path with patience. Walk it with an open heart, and know that each step brings you closer to peace. When someone hurts you, it is natural to look outside for answers. We want to see what the other person did wrong. We want to blame, to accuse, to defend ourselves. But before we react, before the fire of anger or sadness takes over, there is a quiet place we must visit. That place is within ourselves. The Buddha taught us to look inward like a mirror, not to judge, not to punish, but to observe clearly. When you look into a mirror, you see your own face exactly as it is. You do not see the face of another, no matter how angry or hurt you feel. You see only yourself. This is the first step to peace. When someone causes pain, it is like holding up a mirror to our own heart. What does your heart show you in that moment? Is it calm? Is it restless? Is it full of fear, pride, or confusion? Many people live their lives as if the world is a storm that beats upon them. They do not realize that the storm's power depends on how open they are to it. If the storm hits a tree with deep roots, the tree bends but does not break. If the storm hits a weak plant with shallow roots, the plant falls. Your mind and heart are like that tree. The deeper and stronger your roots, the less you break under pressure. To strengthen those roots, you must look inside. Ask yourself gently, what am I feeling right now? Do not push the feeling away or pretend it does not exist. If you feel anger, see it as a cloud passing by. If you feel sadness, allow it to be there, like rain watering the earth. Do not hold on to these feelings tightly. Do not try to run from them. Simply watch them. The moment you observe your feelings without reacting immediately, you create a space between the hurt and your response. In that space lies your freedom. Think about a time when you were hurt but did not react right away. Maybe you took a breath or walked away silently. In that moment, did you feel a small sense of control? That is the power of looking inward first. When you allow your inner self to settle, the noise of anger and confusion begins to fade. You can see the situation more clearly. You may even understand the other person's pain or struggle without excusing their harmful actions. This does not mean you accept the hurt. It means you no longer let the hurt control you. In our modern world, it is easy to forget this inner practice. We rush to react with words, with anger, or with silence that builds walls between people. But these reactions often deepen the wound, both in ourselves and others. The Buddha said that before you speak or act, you should test your words and deeds as a goldsmith tests gold. Is it pure? Is it kind? Will it bring peace? When you look into your own heart first, you give yourself time to purify your response. This is the true power of the mirror. Sometimes the hurt is not just about the other person. Sometimes the pain reveals old wounds within us. Maybe there are fears or insecurities that the hurt touches deeply. The mirror shows these hidden places. When you see these places, do not judge yourself. Be gentle. The Buddha teaches kindness to ourselves as the first step toward healing. With practice, looking inward becomes natural. When someone hurts you, instead of reacting, you pause. You breathe. You look into your own heart and say, "This is pain. It is part of my experience. I will meet it with calm and kindness." This does not mean you become a doormat. It means you are strong enough to choose your response. Your mind becomes like still water. When the wind blows, the surface may ripple, but deep down, the water remains calm and clear. In this calmness, you find clarity. You see not only yourself, but the situation as it truly is, free from the clouds of emotion. This clarity allows you to respond with wisdom. You may choose to forgive, to set boundaries, or to simply let go. The mirror of self is the key to breaking the cycle of hurt and reaction. By turning inward first, you stop the endless ripple of pain. You create a new path, one of peace, strength, and understanding. Remember, the one you hurt most by reacting with anger or bitterness is yourself. The heart becomes heavy and tired. The mind becomes restless and unhappy. But when you look inward, you give yourself a chance to heal, to grow, and to find peace beyond pain. This is not an easy path. It takes patience and courage. But the reward is great. A life less ruled by others' actions and more guided by your own wisdom. You become a tree with deep roots, standing strong no matter the storm. So the next time someone hurts you, do not rush to react. Pause, breathe, look into the mirror of your heart. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What do I need right now? In that quiet moment, your true power awakens. And from that place of strength, you can choose your path with clarity and peace. This is the way of the Buddha, to find light not by changing the world around us, but by changing the world within us. To walk this path is to live freely, with a heart open and calm. Turn inward, look deeply, and you will discover a peace that no hurt can take away. When someone hurts you, it is easy to get caught in a storm inside your mind. The pain, the anger, the sadness, they swirl like a wild wind that refuses to calm. But listen carefully, for this storm can be quieted. The secret lies not in fighting the storm, but in learning how to let it pass. This is the art of detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become cold or distant. It means you see things as they truly are, without clinging or pushing away. When you are hurt, your first instinct may be to hold tightly to the pain. You may want to replay the moment again and again, wanting answers, wanting justice, wanting relief. But when you clutch so tightly, the pain becomes heavier. It grows roots in your heart. Imagine holding a hot coal in your hand. You may want to throw it away, but if you refuse to let go, the burn only gets worse. Holding on to hurt is like that. The pain is not just in what was done to you. It is in how long you refuse to release it. When you detach, you open your hand. The coal falls away. You feel the relief, the freedom, the peace. Many believe detachment means ignoring your feelings or pretending the hurt never happened. This is not true. A wise person feels deeply, accepts the truth of the pain, but does not allow it to control them. The Buddhist said, attachment is the root of suffering. If we cling to pain, suffering grows. But when we loosen our grip, suffering begins to fade. You may ask, how do I do this? How do I stop clinging to pain when it feels so real? Start with your breath. When hurt arises, do not run from it. Do not try to push it away. Instead, sit quietly and breathe. Feel the pain without judgment. Say to yourself, this pain is here. I see it. I accept it. When you breathe with pain, it loses its power to control you. The mind loves to create stories. It says, they hurt me because they are bad. Or, I will never be safe again. These stories feed the fire of suffering. Detachment teaches us to see these stories for what they are, just stories, not facts. They are clouds passing in the sky of your mind. Notice them, then let them float away. Detachment also means recognizing that the world is always changing. Nothing lasts forever. Not the pain, not the anger, not the hurt. Everything flows like a river. When we hold tightly to what is passing, we cause ourselves pain. When we let go, we flow with life instead of against it. Imagine a leaf falling from a tree. The leaf does not resist. It lets go and drifts gently to the ground. If the leaf fought against falling, it would tear and break. Like the leaf, when you let go of pain, you allow yourself to heal. It is natural to want to protect yourself. But detachment is not about building walls. It is about building inner strength. When you are detached, you can face pain without fear. You can see it clearly and choose how to respond, instead of reacting blindly. Many who hurt us are trapped in their own suffering. They act from pain, fear, or confusion. Detachment helps you see this truth. It helps you remember that their hurt is not your burden to carry. You can offer kindness without losing yourself. Sometimes detachment feels lonely. Letting go of anger and hurt may feel like giving up. But it is not giving up, it is choosing peace. It is choosing freedom from chains you did not make, but have worn for too long. Practice detachment with patience. It is not something that happens overnight. Some days will be easier, others will be harder. When painful feelings return, greet them like an old visitor. Say, I see you again. I accept you, but I will not let you rule me. In time, your mind will become quieter. Your heart will grow lighter. You will find yourself free from the heavy weight of past wounds. This freedom is not from forgetting or ignoring, but from understanding and releasing. Detachment also opens space for compassion, not only for others, but for yourself. When you stop clinging to pain, you create room to heal. You can forgive, not because you forget what happened, but because you refuse to be chained by it. The art of detachment is a gift you give yourself. It is the key to breaking the cycle of pain and suffering. When someone hurts you, you can respond with peace, not poison. Remember, detachment is not about shutting down your heart. It is about opening it wider, beyond the limits of hurt and fear. It is about seeing clearly, feeling deeply, and moving forward gently. When you practice detachment, you stop feeding the fire inside. You become like a still lake, reflecting the world as it is, not as it should be or how you wish it were. You will begin to understand that the true power lies not in controlling others, but in controlling your own mind. This is where real peace begins. No one can take your peace unless you give it away. Detachment helps you hold on to what is truly yours: calm, clarity, and freedom. The journey is yours to walk. It is quiet, slow, and sometimes difficult, but it is also beautiful. Each step away from attachment is a step toward lightness and joy. When pain comes again, and it will, meet it with the wisdom of detachment. Let it pass through you like a gentle wind. You do not have to carry it forever. Be patient with yourself. Be kind. Know that the Buddhist teachings are here to guide you, not to judge you. In the quiet space of detachment, you find your true self, the part that is untouched by pain, unchanged by others, and always at peace. This is the silent power within you, waiting to be awakened. When someone hurts you, the very first moment after the pain strikes is like a flash of lightning. Your mind races. Your heart tightens. The body wants to jump into action, maybe with anger, with words that sting back, or with silence that freezes everything. This is reaction. It feels automatic, like a reflex, but it is not the way of peace. Imagine standing beside a calm lake. The water is still. A stone drops into the lake, and ripples spread out quickly, disturbing the surface. The ripples are like your reactions. The lake wants to stay calm, but the stone's fall causes disturbance. Now, what if, before the stone touches the water, the lake could prepare? What if it could hold its calm and let the ripples pass without being pulled into the chaos? That calm lake is the space you can create within yourself. This space is not about ignoring pain or pretending it is not there. It is about not rushing into a reaction that will only add fire to the fire. When you pause, even for a moment, you give yourself room to breathe and choose. This pause is the beginning of mindful space. In Buddhism, mindfulness is the practice of being aware, fully aware, of what is happening inside and outside without judgment or haste. When someone hurts you, mindfulness invites you to notice your feelings without being swept away. It is as if you step back and watch your emotions instead of being them. This watching is powerful. In that moment of watching, you see anger or sadness arise. You see your mind wanting to fight or run away. You see the body's tension and the rush of thoughts that demand revenge or justice. But you also see that these are just passing clouds in the sky of your mind. They come and go. By creating this mindful space, you begin to interrupt the automatic reaction. Instead of exploding or shutting down, you breathe in and out. You feel the hurt, yes, but you don't feed it with more pain. You don't give it power to control you. This pause, this space, is where choice lives. Do you want to hurt yourself more by holding on to anger? Or do you want to stay steady, clear, and strong? Do you want to add more suffering to your day? Or do you want to find peace right here, right now? Imagine the difference between a spark lighting a wildfire and a spark falling on wet ground. When you react without space, the hurt becomes a wildfire inside you. When you respond with mindful space, the spark falls harmlessly. The pain might still be there, but it does not grow into more suffering. When you practice this, your mind becomes like a calm ocean. Sometimes the waves rise and storms come, but the ocean always returns to stillness. You learn to welcome feelings as visitors, not as enemies. This is not an easy skill. The mind loves to rush. It loves drama and stories. It wants to hold grudges and replay memories like a broken record. But with patient practice, you learn to slow down. You learn that peace is a choice, not a place you have to run away to. One way to practice mindful space is through your breath. When pain or anger rises, focus on your breath. Feel it enter your body, filling your lungs, then slowly leave. The breath is always with you, like a gentle friend reminding you to stay present. Another way is to notice your body. Where do you feel the pain? Is your chest tight? Are your fists clenched? When you feel these signs, soften them. Let go of tension. Remind yourself, this is my body's way of holding pain. I can soften it with kindness. In those moments, say silently to yourself, I see this pain. I acknowledge it, but I will not be controlled by it. This simple statement creates a distance between you and the hurt. It helps you move from reaction to response. Responding is different from reacting. Reacting is quick, loud, and driven by strong emotions. Responding is calm, thoughtful, and rooted in understanding. When you respond, you do not let the other person's actions destroy your peace. You act from your true self, not from fear or anger. Remember, creating mindful space does not mean you accept being hurt or allow harm to continue. It means you keep your balance while deciding how best to protect yourself and others. Sometimes responding means speaking calmly, setting boundaries, or walking away. Other times, it means offering forgiveness or understanding. The great Zen masters taught that every moment is an opportunity to practice this space. Every hurt, every insult, every disappointment is a chance to pause and choose peace over chaos. Think of your mind as a garden. When pain comes, it is like a weed trying to grow. If you react quickly, watering the weed with anger and fear, it takes over. But if you pause, create space, and nurture the good seeds, kindness, patience, and calm, the weed will not thrive. The more you practice mindful space, the more natural it becomes. You no longer need to fight the storm inside. You become the still center in the whirlwind. The hurt does not vanish immediately, but your relationship with it changes. You begin to see pain not as a punishment, but as a teacher. It shows you where you have hidden wounds. It invites you to heal and grow. With each mindful breath, each gentle pause, you reclaim your power. When you respond rather than react, you break the cycle of suffering. You stop the endless chain of pain passing from one heart to another. You become a light in the darkness, showing others there is another way. This way is not about weakness or silence. It is about strength and wisdom. It is about being fully alive, fully aware, and fully free. In the quiet space between hurt and reaction lies your true self, peaceful, wise, and unshakable. This is the gift of mindful space. This is the path the Buddha showed us. Practice this every day. In every moment of pain, pause, breathe, create space, and choose peace. When someone hurts us, the first feeling that arises is often pain. That pain quickly turns into anger or sadness. It's natural. We want to protect ourselves. We want justice. We want the hurt to stop. But in those moments, a very important choice appears before us: to react with more pain or to respond with compassion. Compassion, in the Buddhist way, is not just a soft feeling. It is not weakness. It is a powerful strength that can heal even the deepest wounds. But this compassion is unlike what most people think. It is compassion without conditions. It means we do not only show kindness to those who deserve it, or to those who have been kind to us. True compassion is given freely, even to those who hurt us. Imagine a tree that offers shade to all, to the birds, the insects, even the storm. It does not ask for thanks. It does not choose who deserves shade. It simply gives because that is its nature. This is the way of compassion. When we practice this radical compassion, we start to see the person who hurt us in a new light. We begin to understand that their actions come from suffering. They act out of fear, anger, or confusion. Their pain causes them to lash out. They may not know how to heal themselves, so they hurt others instead. This understanding does not mean we accept or allow abuse. It means we recognize that hurting others never comes from a place of peace. The Buddha taught us to look deeply, to see the root cause of suffering in every being, even those who seem cruel. Holding compassion for someone who hurt us is difficult, no doubt. Our mind wants to hold on to anger because it feels like protection. But anger is a chain. It binds us to suffering. Compassion breaks those chains. When you hold compassion for someone who hurt you, something inside begins to change. The tight knot of pain starts to loosen. You stop feeding the fire of anger. You create space in your heart for healing. Compassion does not erase the past. It doesn't fix what happened, but it frees you from the bitterness that weighs you down. You become lighter, freer, more peaceful. A Zen master once said, "Compassion is the light that burns away the darkness of hatred." When your heart shines with this light, even the coldest hurt cannot freeze you. You may wonder, how can I find this compassion when I feel so much pain? The answer lies in simple steps, practiced again and again. First, breathe. When pain or anger rises, take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Let the breath calm your mind. Next, remember that every person is like you. They want to be happy. They want to avoid pain. But sometimes they forget how to do this without causing harm. Try silently wishing the person who hurt you well-being, even if it feels strange at first. Say in your mind, "May you find peace." This is not for them alone, but also for your own healing. This wish is a seed. With time, it grows into compassion. Your heart opens just a little bit more. This practice does not mean you must forget or pretend nothing happened. It means you are choosing a path that leads away from suffering, for yourself and for others. Buddha's path is about transformation. It teaches us to take even the worst pain and use it to build a stronger, kinder heart. You become like a river that flows calmly even when rocks block its way. The water does not stop. It moves around, shaping itself with patience and grace. When compassion grows inside you, you stop reacting automatically. You respond with wisdom. This wisdom knows that hurting others will not heal your pain. It only creates more pain. Compassion asks us to be brave. It asks us to look inside and heal our own wounds first. As your heart heals, you naturally become a source of peace for others. Your calm presence can soften anger and confusion in those around you. Sometimes, people who hurt us carry heavy burdens. They do not know how to ask for help. They act out their pain as a cry for healing. When you respond with compassion, you might be the first person to offer a moment of peace. It is important to remember, compassion is a practice. Some days it feels easy, and some days it feels very hard. Be gentle with yourself. Don't expect to become a perfect being overnight. The Zen way is to walk step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. Even when you feel like giving up, return to your breath. Return to your intention to be kind, even to those who seem unkind. In time, this practice softens the heart. It does not mean you become weak or a doormat. It means you become stronger than before, strong enough to hold pain without breaking. One more thing, compassion is not just for others. It is also for yourself. When you feel hurt, be kind to your own heart. Speak gently to yourself. Allow space for your feelings without judgment. By caring for yourself this way, you fill your own well of love and patience. Then you have more to give to the world. Remember, the Buddhist teaching on compassion is a radical gift to those who suffer. It asks us to see beyond the surface, beyond our hurt, and to connect with the shared human experience of pain and healing. When you choose compassion without conditions, you walk the path of peace. You become a living example of the Buddha's wisdom, and this wisdom is the strongest shield against suffering. Let your heart be a lantern in the dark. Let your kindness ripple outwards, touching even those who hurt you. This is not easy, but it is the way to true freedom. Trust the process. Trust yourself, and know that every step you take toward compassion is a step toward healing, for you and for all beings. When someone hurts you, it is easy to want to seek justice to balance the scales. You might think that if the person who caused the pain suffers as much as you have, then somehow the world becomes fair again. But this is only one way to see the story. In the teaching of the Buddha, there is a deeper understanding of justice. It is called karma. Karma is not punishment. It is not revenge. It is simply the natural law of cause and effect. Every action we take, whether good or bad, creates a result, sometimes in ways we cannot immediately see. Imagine a seed. When you plant in the soil, it grows into a tree. If the seed is bitter, the fruit will be bitter. If the seed is sweet, the fruit will be sweet. The tree itself does not judge the seed. It simply grows what the seed allows. Karma works in the same way. When someone hurts you, it is tempting to hold on to anger and pain, hoping that somehow this will make things right. But in reality, this only makes your own heart bitter. It plants seeds of suffering inside you. You become like the tree growing bitter fruit. The true power is to understand that the person who hurt you is responsible for their own seeds, their own karma. They will experience the results of their actions in their own time, in their own way. This is not your burden to carry. You do not need to hold the weight of their mistakes. It is important to remember that karma is not immediate. Sometimes, the results of a harmful action take time to appear. Sometimes they are hidden or come in ways we do not expect. But this does not mean they do not exist. The universe has its own way of balancing things. This understanding can bring a great freedom. When you accept that justice will unfold naturally, you do not need to seek it yourself. You do not need to hold on to grudges or seek revenge. Your heart can soften, even toward those who have hurt you. You might wonder, does this mean that we should allow people to hurt us? No. Buddhism teaches us to protect ourselves and to act wisely. But it also teaches us to let go of hatred and anger, because holding on to these emotions hurts us more than anyone else. Think about a fire. If you try to hold fire in your hand, you will burn. If you hold on to anger and resentment, you're the one who suffers most. The one who hurt you might not even notice your pain, but you carry it inside your own heart. Instead, see your pain as a signal, a call to practice patience and understanding. When you feel hurt, remind yourself that this is an opportunity to practice compassion for yourself and for the other person. Compassion does not mean accepting bad behavior, but it means recognizing the suffering behind it. Everyone acts from their own place of pain or confusion. The person who hurt you is also struggling. Their actions might come from fear, ignorance, or past wounds you cannot see. This does not excuse their behavior, but it helps you to see them not as enemies, but as fellow travelers on a difficult path. This is where true justice begins, not in punishment or revenge, but in understanding. When you understand the nature of karma and suffering, you release yourself from the prison of anger. You no longer need to be controlled by the past. Karma teaches us that every action we take shapes our future. If we respond to pain with kindness, patience, and forgiveness, we plant seeds of peace in our hearts. This peace will grow, even if the world around us remains difficult. You might ask, how do we forgive when the hurt feels too deep? Forgiveness in Buddhism is not about forgetting or pretending the pain didn't happen. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of suffering. It is a gift you give to your own heart. Forgiveness is a process, not a moment. It takes time and courage. It might start with simply breathing through the pain, allowing yourself to feel it without judgment. It might mean seeing the person who hurt you with eyes of compassion, even if only in small moments. The Buddha said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. This is why karma is so important. It reminds us that our own peace is our responsibility. No one else can give it to us. No one else can take it away unless we allow them. So when you feel hurt, remember karma. Remember the seed and the tree. Let go of the desire for revenge. Plant seeds of understanding and peace instead. This does not mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to choose your own path. Your path is not to punish others. Your path is to heal yourself. When your heart is free from anger, it shines like the sun after a storm. Your peace becomes a quiet power, a force that no one can take away. This is the true justice of karma. Not punishment, but transformation. Not bitterness, but freedom. Not anger, but peace. Remember also that karma works in mysterious ways. Sometimes the greatest healing comes not from changing others, but from changing ourselves. When you transform your own heart, you change the world around you. You do not have to understand all of karma's mysteries today. The journey is long, and every step you take matters. When you face hurt, do not rush to blame or anger. Instead, breathe deeply and ask yourself, what seed will I plant in this moment? Will it be a seed of bitterness or a seed of kindness? Choose wisely. Your peace depends on it. And know this, in every moment, you have the power to begin again. No past pain can define you unless you let it. The wisdom of karma teaches us that every new moment is a chance to start fresh. This is the freedom that comes from understanding karma. The freedom to respond to pain not with hatred, but with wisdom. So, when someone hurts you, remember the silent power of karma. Trust that the universe is balancing itself, even if you cannot see it. And focus on your own heart. Protect it. Nurture it. Let it grow strong and peaceful. In this way, you walk the path of the Buddha, a path not free of pain, but free of suffering. A path where justice is not punishment, but understanding. A path where your heart remains untouched by the storms of anger and revenge. This is the gift that karma offers, the chance to find peace no matter what happens outside. And so, the true victory is not in causing others to suffer, but in learning to live without suffering yourself. This is the heart of karma. This is the heart of justice. May you walk this path with courage and kindness. May your heart find the peace it seeks. And may the wisdom of the Buddha guide you always. Forgiveness is not something that comes easily. Most people think it means forgetting or pretending the hurt never happened. But forgiveness in the way of the Buddha is something much deeper, much freer. It is a quiet power that releases the heart from the chains of anger and pain. When someone hurts you, the pain feels like a heavy stone pressing down inside. You clutch it, hold it close, thinking it protects you. But really, it only weighs you down. The Buddha taught that holding on to anger or resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It harms you first and foremost. Imagine your heart is a bird trapped in a cage. Anger and hurt are the bars that keep it inside. Forgiveness is the gentle hand that opens the cage door and lets the bird fly free. When you forgive, you're not saying what they did was right. You're saying you will no longer let it keep you prisoner. True forgiveness begins with understanding. It starts when you realize that the person who hurt you is also a human being, flawed and suffering just like you. They act from pain, confusion, fear, or ignorance. Their actions, even if cruel, come from a place of struggle. This does not excuse what they did. It simply opens your heart to see them with compassion, not hatred. When you can see the suffering behind the hurtful action, the grip of anger slowly loosens. It is as if the wound is touched by a healing hand. The Buddha said that to forgive is to let go of the past, to release yourself from the cycle of bitterness. Holding on to resentment keeps you tied to the person who hurt you, to the moment of pain. Forgiveness breaks that chain. It is a gift you give yourself, not the other. Many people fear forgiveness because they think it makes them weak. But in truth, forgiveness is the greatest strength. It takes courage to face the hurt, to confront your pain honestly, and then to choose peace instead of revenge. Sometimes, forgiveness comes all at once, like a sudden rain that washes the dust away. Other times, it is slow, like a river carving through rock, patient and steady. Either way, forgiveness transforms the heart over time. You may wonder, how do I forgive when the pain is too deep? When a wound feels like it will never heal? The answer lies in small steps. Begin by forgiving yourself for carrying the hurt so long. Forgive yourself for the moments you wished harm on others. Next, try to wish well to the person who hurt you. Not because they deserve it, but because your heart deserves peace. This simple act can soften the hardest places inside you. Remember, forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time event. Some days it will feel easy, other days impossible. That is natural. Be gentle with yourself. Buddhist meditation teaches us to observe feelings without being swept away. When anger rises, breathe and watch it. See it as a cloud passing through the sky of your mind. It will not stay forever. In this way, forgiveness becomes a doorway to freedom. You do not become a victim of your past. You become a master of your own peace. It is also important to understand that forgiveness does not mean you must forget the lesson or allow harm again. Forgiveness can coexist with healthy boundaries. You forgive to heal your heart, not to open it to repeated harm. When you forgive, you are planting seeds of kindness and love in the garden of your soul. These seeds will grow, slowly but surely, into deep roots of inner peace. The Buddha's own story reminds us of this. Even after great betrayals, he showed compassion and forgiveness. His heart was free because he did not carry the burden of hatred. You might ask, is it possible to forgive when the hurt is caused by someone very close? A family member, a dear friend? Yes, it is possible, but it is often the hardest kind of forgiveness. In these cases, remember that love and forgiveness are connected. Forgiveness heals love's wounds. It opens space for understanding, for healing, for a new beginning. Sometimes, forgiveness means accepting that some relationships change or end. Forgiveness frees you from bitterness, even if the person stays distant or the wound remains. When you forgive, you return to yourself. You stop giving your power away to pain and anger. Instead, you choose peace. In your daily life, forgiveness can become a quiet habit. When someone cuts in line, when a colleague is rude, when a friend forgets a promise, practice letting go of the small hurts too. These small acts of forgiveness strengthen the heart. They build a peaceful mind, ready for the bigger challenges. Remember, no one is perfect. We all make mistakes and hurt others, sometimes without meaning to. Recognizing this truth makes forgiveness natural. The Buddha's path is a path of compassion for others and for yourself. Forgiveness is a beautiful expression of that compassion. In time, you will find that forgiveness does not just free you from the past. It brightens your present. It brings lightness to your step and softness to your smile. To forgive is to live without chains. It is to live with an open heart, ready to embrace peace, joy, and freedom. Let your heart be like water, flowing freely and calmly, no matter what stones lie beneath the surface. And so, the unchained heart walks the path of wisdom, untouched by anger, shining with the light of forgiveness, transforming poison into medicine, alchemy of pain. So you've been hurt. Someone did something that left a mark, not on your skin, but in your heart. And now, that pain sits within you, heavy like a stone. You carry it quietly, sometimes pretending you're okay, but it comes back in small ways, a memory, a word, a face. And every time it does, it stings. Many people try to escape pain. They distract themselves. They get angry. They shut people out, or they try to forget. But have you noticed? Pain doesn't really go away just because you push it aside. It finds new shapes. It turns into sadness, fear, anger, and sometimes even hate. But what if, instead of pushing pain away, you could transform it? There's a teaching in Buddhism, very old, very gentle, and very powerful. It says that pain is not the enemy. Pain is not a punishment. Pain is the teacher. A Zen master once said, "Poison becomes medicine in the right hands." When someone hurts you, it is like they give you poison. Their anger, their hatred, their ignorance. Now you hold it. What will you do with it? Will you drink it and let it destroy your peace? Or will you turn it into something else? This is what transformation means. And yes, it is possible. Not easy, but possible. First, you must stop running from the pain. Sit with it. Notice it. Feel where it lives in your body. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it tightens your stomach. Maybe it clouds your mind. Breathe gently. Let it be there for a moment. No judgment. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to show me? Not, why did this happen to me? But, what can this teach me? When someone insults you or betrays you, there's a message. Not their message, your own. Maybe it shows that you had an expectation. Maybe it reveals an old wound. Maybe it simply teaches that people act from their own suffering, not always from intention to hurt. Pain has layers, and when you start to peel them gently, you find something soft beneath your heart. In Buddhism, we use the word dukkha to describe suffering. It's the ache of life, the truth that everything changes and not everything is in our control. But inside dukkha, there's also wisdom. The wisdom that nothing is permanent. That even pain, no matter how sharp, will not stay forever. So now, what can you do with this pain? You could turn it into understanding. Instead of saying, "This person ruined my peace," you say, "This person showed me where I was still holding on." Instead of saying, "They hurt me," you say, "Their actions were their own, but I choose how I carry them within me." This is not weakness. This is strength, the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't need revenge, the kind that doesn't shout or prove itself, the kind that knows, "I do not have to suffer twice." Yes, they hurt you. That was the first arrow. But holding on to that pain, replaying it again and again, that is the second arrow. And that one, you shoot at yourself. Let it go. Let the poison leave your body. Now breathe. You're not here to collect wounds. You're here to grow. Even a lotus grows in the mud. Even the darkest night gives way to morning. And do you know what happens when you transform pain into understanding? You begin to see others differently too. You start to notice their pain. You realize maybe they were hurting when they hurt you. Maybe they don't even know the weight they carry. Maybe they live in a cage of their own bitterness. Does this excuse their actions? No, but it frees you from needing to hold them in your heart with anger. You don't have to carry their darkness anymore. You don't even have to wish them well right now. Just let them go. You are not here to carry what they threw at you. You are here to return to yourself. So, take the pain. Hold it softly. Then release it. You might say, "But the memory is still there." Yes, it may be. But memories lose their sting when you stop feeding them. You can look at them with softer eyes. That happened. It hurt. I survived. I learned. That is the alchemy. That is how poison becomes medicine. Because now you can help others. You can say, "I have been there. I know how it feels. And I know the way out." Your pain becomes a bridge. Your healing becomes a light. Your heart becomes a shelter for someone else who is hurting. And that is the greatest transformation of all. You were not broken. You were becoming. Pain did not end you. It opened you. And in that opening, there is space for something new. Compassion, wisdom, freedom. So next time someone throws poison at you, remember this teaching. You have the power to turn it into medicine. And when you do, you're no longer just someone who was hurt. You are someone who has healed, someone who can guide, someone who knows peace. Not because life was easy, but because you chose the harder path with a soft heart. That is the path of the Buddha. That is the path of awakening. Keep walking. The noble silence, when saying nothing, says everything. Sit with me for a moment. Breathe. No need to rush. Just be here. Let the world fall quiet for a while. There's a kind of strength most people don't talk about. It's not loud. It doesn't shout or argue. It doesn't try to win. This strength lives in silence. A silence so deep, it becomes your protection. A silence so noble, it becomes your answer. When someone hurts you, the natural urge is to speak, to defend yourself, to explain, to fight back, to scream your pain. But there's another way, a quieter way, and sometimes it is the most powerful thing you can do. In Buddhism, silence is not emptiness. It is fullness, full of awareness, full of understanding, full of restraint. The Buddha taught that silence can carry more wisdom than 1,000 words. Because when your mind is still, you see things clearly. When your lips are quiet, your heart can speak. When someone speaks to you with anger, they want a reaction. They want to pull you into their storm. But you don't have to go there. You can choose to remain still. You can let their words pass like wind through trees. You don't have to hold on to them. You don't have to make them yours. And yes, it's hard. It's hard not to speak when you've been hurt. The pain rises like fire in the chest. Your voice trembles. Your thoughts race. But if you pause, just pause, and take one conscious breath, you open the door to a different kind of power. You don't give them control over your peace. You become the calm in the middle of the storm. There are times when silence is not weakness, it is mastery. It is you saying, without words, I do not need to prove myself. It is you saying, I am not your anger. I am not your chaos. I am peace. When the Buddha was insulted, he did not respond with insult. When he was accused, he did not rush to defend. He looked upon his accuser with compassion. He saw their suffering, and in his silence, he said everything that needed to be said. Many people fear silence because they think it means defeat. But in Buddhism, silence can be the greatest teacher. It teaches patience. It teaches control. And most of all, it teaches you that not every battle is worth fighting. Think of a lake. When its surface is still, you can see your reflection. But if you throw stones into it, anger, resentment, revenge, the water becomes disturbed. You can't see clearly. Your mind is the same. Stay still, and clarity will come. In your life, people will misunderstand you. They will speak badly of you. They will test your peace. And when they do, remember, your silence is not for them. It is for you, to protect your energy, to preserve your balance, to let your soul breathe. There's a story in Zen about a man who was cursed by another. The man bowed and said, "Thank you, but I do not accept your gift." Just like a package returned to the sender, the curse never touched him. That is the power of noble silence. You can decline the negativity without a word. Some people will see your silence and call it weakness. Let them. You're not here to prove anything. You are here to grow, to heal, to understand. You are walking a path that many fear to walk, the path of inner peace. And on this path, silence is your companion. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to respond to every insult. Not every situation deserves your energy. Ask yourself, will speaking heal this? Will replying bring peace? If not, choose silence. Silence also gives you time. Time to think, time to feel, time to respond, not react. In those moments of stillness, your wisdom grows. Your heart opens. And sometimes you will realize what you thought needed a reply doesn't matter anymore. This doesn't mean you never speak. It means you speak with awareness, with purpose. You speak when it adds light, not heat. When it heals, not harms. And when it doesn't, you remain silent, not out of fear, but out of strength. In silence, you begin to understand yourself better. You notice how your thoughts move. You become aware of your triggers. And you learn that you're not your emotions. You are the one watching them. This awareness is precious. It protects you. When someone tries to hurt you, silence gives you a shield. Not a cold wall, but a warm distance. A space where you can see their pain without taking it in. Some wounds don't need words. They need stillness. Some conflicts don't need answers. They need quiet. In this quiet, you reconnect with your center. And from this center, you decide, who do I want to be in this moment? You are not what they say about you. You are not the way they treat you. You are your own calm. You are your own truth. And you can choose to keep that sacred by simply not reacting. The next time someone tries to disturb your peace, pause. Don't rush to respond. Take a breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your breath in your chest. Remember who you are. And if silence feels right, let it speak for you. Because in this silence, you are saying, I have peace, and I will protect it. And that says more than words ever could. Healing with metta, sending loving kindness to the unkind. Sit down. Breathe gently. Let the world be quiet for a moment. You've come far on this journey. You've learned to look at pain, not with hatred, but with eyes of understanding. Now I will share with you something very deep, very powerful. The practice of metta, or loving kindness. When someone hurts you, the natural feeling is to close your heart. You feel pain, anger, even a desire to hurt them back. But that is where we go wrong. In Buddhism, we are taught that this reaction creates more suffering for you and for them. The path to healing is not to fight fire with fire. It is to pour cool water over the flames. Metta is that cool water. You might think, how can I send loving kindness to someone who caused me pain? It is not easy, but healing never comes from doing what is easy. It comes from doing what is right. And the right path is not always the obvious one. Start small. Don't try to love the person who hurt you right away. That is like trying to lift a heavy stone when your arms are weak. Instead, start by sending metta to yourself. Close your eyes and silently say, "May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I live with peace." Say it slowly. Mean every word. Imagine those words surrounding you like a warm light. Let them melt some of the pain inside. Now, think of someone you love. A friend, a parent, a child. Imagine their face. Say the same words to them. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you live with peace. Feel the warmth spreading outward. This is metta, love without condition. It is not about whether someone deserves it. It is about freeing your own heart. Now, very gently bring to mind someone neutral. Maybe a shopkeeper, a stranger you pass a day, someone you don't know well. Wish them well, too. With practice, you'll feel your heart getting lighter, more open. And now, if you are ready, bring to mind the person who hurt you. Don't force it. Just see their face in your mind. Maybe you still feel anger. Maybe pain. That's okay. Say the words anyway. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you live with peace. Say it, not for them, but for you. Say it to let go of the poison in your heart. Not because you accept what they did, but because you refuse to carry the weight of hate. This is the secret. Metta is not weakness. It is not saying, what you did was fine. It is saying, I choose not to let your actions destroy my peace. You can forgive without forgetting. You can protect yourself and still wish them peace. When you send loving kindness, something strange happens. You begin to heal in places you didn't even know were wounded. The tightness in your chest softens. The racing thoughts begin to slow. The sharp edges inside your heart become smooth. Some people ask, but what if they never change? That's not your concern. In Buddhism, we are taught to work on our own mind, our own heart. Their path is their path. Your peace is your responsibility. Metta does not promise that others will treat you better. It promises that you will treat yourself better. By not clinging to hate, by not letting pain turn you bitter, you rise. You begin to shine, even in the dark. And slowly, you see, the person who hurt you is also caught in suffering. Maybe no one ever showed them love. Maybe they're lost in their own pain. This doesn't excuse them, but explains something. And that understanding can create space in your heart where only walls once stood. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you'll feel strong. Some days you want to scream. That's okay. Just keep practicing. Each time you offer metta, even if your voice shakes, you take one step forward. And over time, you'll notice your peace no longer depends on how others treat you. You become free. Free from the prison of resentment. Free from a need to get even. Free to live your life with an open heart. That is the power of metta. So tonight, before you sleep, try it. Sit quietly. Breathe gently. And repeat those words for yourself, for someone you love, for someone you don't know, and maybe even for the one who hurt you. Let metta become your medicine. Let it be your shield. Let it be the way you walk through this world, strong, kind, and unshaken. You don't have to carry the weight of pain forever. You can put it down. You can walk free. Just do this when someone hurts you. Send metta, and let your healing begin. Liberation through letting go, final teachings, and farewell. When someone hurts you, the mind clings tightly to that pain. It holds on like a child clutching a toy, afraid to let go. But the truth is, holding on only makes the burden heavier. You see, freedom does not come from keeping the pain locked inside. Freedom comes from letting it go. Imagine a river flowing gently. If you throw a stone into the water, the ripples spread for a while, but soon the river moves on. It does not hold onto the stone or the ripples. Life is like that river. When hurt arrives, it creates ripples in your heart, but you do not have to trap those ripples forever. Letting go is not forgetting. It is not saying what happened was okay. It is not weakness or giving up. It is the strength to say, I will not carry this pain with me anymore. You are choosing peace over suffering. You are choosing yourself. The Buddha said that all things are impermanent. Everything changes: feelings, people, moments. The pain you feel now, as strong as it seems, will change too. If you grasp it tightly, it will weigh you down. If you hold it lightly, it will pass like a cloud across the sky. Many times, we think holding on to anger or hurt protects us. But actually, it chains us to the past. It stops us from living fully in the present moment. And the present moment is all we really have. When you forgive, you don't do it for the person who hurt you. You do it for yourself. Forgiveness frees your heart. It lets you breathe again without the heavy weight of anger or sadness pressing down on you. You might ask, but how do I forgive when the hurt feels so big? The answer lies in small steps. Forgiveness begins when you stop feeding the pain with more thoughts, more anger, more blame. It grows slowly, like a small seed in the earth. Practice kindness toward yourself first. Speak gently to your own heart. Remind yourself that you are not broken. You are whole, even with the pain inside. This kindness opens the door to healing. Sometimes, the greatest gift you can give yourself is silence. When someone hurts you, your mind might want to shout, argue, or get revenge. But silence has its own power. In silence, the mind calms. In silence, you find space to breathe and see clearly. This does not mean you ignore injustice or allow harm to continue. It means you respond from wisdom, not from fear or anger. It means you protect your peace while standing firm in your truth. One of the deepest Buddhist teachings is about compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves. When you practice compassion, you see that the person who hurt you is also suffering in their own way. Their actions come from their own pain and confusion. This understanding softens your heart without making you weak. Remember, your peace is your power. No one can take it from you unless you give it away. When you learn to let go of hurt, you step into a life where you're no longer a victim of your past. You become the master of your present. This journey is not always easy. There will be days when the old pain returns like a shadow. On those days, return to your breath. Return to the quiet space within you where peace lives. Let the old pain pass like a visitor without letting it move in. Keep practicing. Keep letting go a little more each day. Each moment of peace you create is a victory. Each time you choose love over anger, you heal a little more. As you walk this path, remember the words of the Buddha. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The power to heal your hurt is already inside you. You only need to awaken it. Thank you for walking this journey with us. Thank you for choosing peace. May your heart be light, your mind be clear, and your life be filled with gentle joy. Before you leave, if this teaching touched your heart, please like, comment your thoughts, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Writing so that together we can spread peace and healing to many more. And as you continue on your path, comment Namo Buddhoi to keep your spirit strong and positive. Let these words remind you of the light within you, even in the darkest times. Letting go is not the end. It is a new beginning, a beginning of freedom, love, and true peace. May you walk your way with calm, courage, and compassion, always.